Welcome back to the Weekly YouTube channel. I am your host, Owen, and I am coming to you today with a prospect profile. It is the last of the ones I'm going to do based off purely off of season-ending injuries. Today we're going to do Nolan Smith, whose season was cut short by pec injury. After this, we're going to be doing players whose seasons weren't cut by injuries and are just going to be done with their full prospect evaluations, because at this point, we're into the full draft season now. There's nothing really that one bowl game or the playoff run are going to change about our opinions on these high-end prospects or other guys that are going to be playing in these games. So a lot of these guys, we're just going to be doing these prospect profile wrap-ups, even if they still have a game or two left on their schedule. So today, like I said, we're going to be covering Nolan Smith, edge rusher out of Georgia, lost his senior season to a pec injury, and we're just going to get right into the film. So real quick, right before we dive in, this is another quick time to mention that you can go to patreon.com/keelpro88 and get access to the Dynasty Index, where you can find all my write-ups on these kind of players. Here's the one on Nolan Smith I have right now. I have this among a bunch of other players. I do the off the tackles to the safeties here on the left-hand side, as well as my overall big board posted on there with all my write-ups and things like that. So if you join it, it's just $1 a month, and you can access it Discord as well, where we always have some interactive things going on, like a mock draft or a Dynasty mock draft, because this is also like a Dynasty fantasy website as well. So we do Dynasty mock drafts, we do regular mock drafts, just have overall good football discussions, whether it's college or NFL season. So $1 a month to gain access to all this, patreon.com/keelpro88. So yeah, this is my write-up on Nolan Smith, 6'3", 235 from Georgia. I have him graded as a second-round prospect, and let's just dive right into his film. But before I get into that, just quick shout-out to Do a Barrow Roll for posting all these cut-ups he does online. He and KeelPro, Caleb, the guy I do the website with, the index with, they all post cut-ups. He does more, this guy does more of the offensive, defensive, like full snap cut-ups, whereas Caleb will do player-specific cut-ups. So if you want to check out that, check out his channel, check out this guy's channel. But yeah, we're going to be using this to go in to dive into our Nolan Smith tape. Yeah, so right here you'll see him, and he's just able to get off the ball really fast. He is more of a slider build, but that just means it has added athleticism. So he's able to get out of his stance, get right into the offensive tackle, get some good push. He's already pushed him back further than the rest of the shell here is. So he's already backing him up, and then with just relentless, fights through the contact and gets to the sack there on DJ Uyunglele. Like I said, just burst out of his stance. One of his biggest pros as a prospect is his ability to kind of do that burst thing. With the high end of athleticism, it comes with a smaller build kind of guy, and this just shows he has that tenacity. He's a leader on the defense, he's a leader on the field, and he can play through contact. Even though he's a smaller guy, he is physical, so he can convert that speed to power and then fight through and get that sack. So I think that was just a good play to show off his speed, explosiveness, and just tenacity to get after the quarterback. Now his next play, he's going to be on the bottom of your screen right here. What's going to happen is they're going to run an RPO inside handoff to the out here. He's just going to be able to crash inside. Again, it's going to show off more of his explosive first step and physicality, this time more in the run game. So he's going to come right here, pump out of the stance, and he's already across the tackle's face and in that gap. So if they were going to run the RPO here, they're trying to run up this middle A gap. And DJ seeing this, sees he's already beaten his tackle across the face with that good first step. He's going to pull it and just rip it out to the out route here. So just beats tackle off the first step. Boom. Forces the pull, which is going to go out to a short flat route here to Justin Ross. This is 21 tape, if I hadn't made it clear, which is going to get brought down for a very short gain. So it just shows his impact, his explosiveness has on the run game as well as the pass game. Two back-to-back plays right there. So now this play is going to be lined up here over the guard in kind of a stand-up traditional like inside linebacker blitzing role. And for guys who are his size that are going to be edge rusher, they will also have that versatility to be able to drop into like a hook zone curl, hook curl zone right here. You can see he's got some good open field movement skills as well. He's able to drop in there and get good depth, find the receiver's eyes, and knows where to be. I wouldn't be surprised if he played at linebacker in high school a little bit, just with how he knows where to go with his zone coverage. He finds his guy. He finds a guy who's running the hook out of the slot, able to take away that coverage. So not only is he able to impact as a pass rusher, but then they bring this delayed blitz from the corner right here. He's going to come in, confuse the offensive line, and allow him to. He picks up his coverage zone, his coverage responsibilities, and is just able to do it pretty fluently. And something that, guys who are his size usually do bring the versatility in those like 3-4 defensive schemes to be able to drop into cover sometimes. He's just showing that off right here, and he's doing it from a middle linebacker blitzing area kind of alignment. All right, so in this play, I think this exemplifies some of the more positive run play aspects he has in this game. I think overall he's kind of hit or miss. I think we'll see it a little bit. He kind of overshoots running plays a little bit by going upfield too much, trying to show off that explosiveness and stuff, but sometimes it gets him in trouble. This one, even though Jordan Davis, who's right here in the middle, blows up this quarterback counter, he's able to come off the edge and then meet the puller here and really blow up this run play, where they're trying to hit the outside and run underneath him right here. Not only does Jordan Davis blow it up, let's get back to the play real quick. And then not only does Jordan Davis blow it up, he jams this puller, this much larger puller. I reckon he's like 320, and is able to spill that play back inside. So if Jordan Davis didn't shoot this gap, he'd have more time to get there because there's no way he's outrunning where Nolan Smith has the leverage at. So he's able to, even though being a smaller guy, he plays that physicality and can jam that puller, really just blow up that whole run play. Like I said, this isn't indicative of all his running defense, but I feel like this is one of his better plays, one of his better qualities, is he plays with that physicality, plays outside of his physical limitations, as in being like a 235 edge rusher. So I feel like he's able to give that to a defense that, if that's usually a big knock on these guys, is they don't play with enough physicality. Well, he does, and he brings it despite being a smaller guy. Now, this is the final play from this 2021 game against Clemson, where he's here at the bottom of the line of scrimmage right here as the edge. And this is going to be a QB pitch option, like a speed option out to the left, or to their right, our left. And he is going to slow play this from the short side out. So he's going to play from quarter. His role on this play is to take the quarterback. He's not to get sucked out to the linebacker, or he's not going to be sucked out to the running back. That's the linebacker and cornerback's job to really contain the outside. So they're going to run this outside speed option, and he's going to come up and he's going to slow play, keep at the back hip of the quarterback, force that pitch, and then he's going to come down the line of scrimmage and rally to the running back. This really just shows, again, some more of he's got that intellectual stuff when it comes to run defending, where he knows what to do, he knows what he's supposed to be doing. He understands his role and what his importance is to this play. He plays it perfectly, and then comes down and helps make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. So even though Nakobe Dean gets blocked up here by the tight end, the corner is able to come up, force it back inside, and he forced the pitch and then makes the tackle. So it's just another example of him being a smart player, a leader on the defense, knowing what he's doing at the right times, and just playing good overall football. This again, and then the run game where some of these smaller guys will get swallowed up and get targeted. So yeah, that's just a really good play for him in a option kind of play. Okay, now we're going against their game this year, the Week 1 game against Oregon. Oregon? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I got roasted in my Jonathan Taylor video in the comments, so I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Oregon is how I want to say it. He's down here at the bottom of your line of scrimmage in front of the linebacker. I'm not going to harp on this play for too long. It just shows more good physicality run game. He gets across this lineman's face, wrong arms him, and kind of spills him back outside. So he gets inside the gap that they were trying to run, a pull, kick out kind of play. They're trying to run up this C gap. They're trying to they were supposed to kick him out with this puller and then run this guy up through to maybe seal off the linebacker, hit this gap. He crosses the offensive tackle's face with a good first step, gets physical, is a low man, wins with some low pad leverage, and he's able to spill his blocker back outside and get that inside gap. And even though the play gets blown up by his teammates, he's still there to make the play and doesn't give in to what they want to achieve as a running play. This is going to be another quick one. He's up here at the top of the line of scrimmage, and this is just going to be a show-off of his good get-off off the line of scrimmage, off the snap, and he's just going to get this right tackle all kinds of messed up immediately with his speed. He's immediately off balance. He's able to throw him off of him. It's not even like a really good pass rush move. He's just able to beat him clean with speed and throw him so off with his speed that he's off balance and can do whatever he wants with him. But this isn't a quick pass by Bo Nix. That offensive tackle is on the ground, and that's a free shot at the quarterback from Nolan Smith. So it just shows off a little more of his speed. And, a little bit of a nasty move there, throwing him off like that. So that's just another quick one showing off one of his biggest pros. Here's another play with him at the top of the line of scrimmage where he's just going to cross his offensive tackle's face, make the wrong arm, and be able to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. It's another play where he's able to use his explosiveness and physicality on the inside as opposed to going around on the outside and making a play in the run game, unlike some of the other small guys. So, yeah, another good play of him is using his speed, using his get-off to get into a lineman, get some pad leverage, and then just be able to, get off me kind of thing with his wrong arm and make a play at the line of scrimmage. So one of those high-low run defensive plays, which he's not bad at run defense. I'm not gonna say that, but he falls into the trap that some of the other speed guys will, and we'll show that in this game specifically where he overruns the play. But right here, they have the linebacker coming on the outside to be the outside contained. He's allowed to crash in with his speed and makes good play, and able to bench off that offensive tackle, who's much larger than him, by the way. He's not that big of a guy, and the offensive tackle is probably, 300 pounds at the latest? So he's able to just knock him off and get inside and make the play on the running back. So good run defense rep right there. Okay, this is going to be him at the top of the line of scrimmage, and as a pass rushing prospect right now, Nolan Smith, he's able to play the physicality, and he, can make impact plays in the run game as we've shown. But as a pass rusher specifically, he doesn't have a lot of tools in his toolkit right now, where he doesn't have the swim move, the rip. He doesn't have all these different kinds of moves. He has a handful here or there. The one he is the best at, and he uses the most effective, is this get off and then just kind of bend around the edge, be that very flexible kind of guy. He explodes upfield, stays tight to the offensive tackle's hip, gets up here and gets pressure on Bo Nix from the blind side. He's able to get upfield. He gets around the guy. He's able to just swipe his hands away and then stays tight on this line. Now, if he was less flexible, he'd probably have to go all the way around from the angle he took because he's going straight upfield, and then he continues to even push himself further upfield by swiping the tackle's arms away. But since he has that good hip and ankle flexibility, he's able to flatten out and then cut down here real quick and get some pressure on him from the backside, causing this little weird jump pass thing he does. So, yeah, this is one of his moves that, despite him not having a lot of moves, is super effective, and he'll be able to use against some more not as athletically gifted offensive tackles, let's say, in the NFL. So that's what he's going to bring to you as a pass rusher immediately, and then you can work on more stuff in camp, utilizing that more physical nature of his. But he has this, which is, you can't teach this. This is something that you're born with, that flexibility, that ability to just bend at the hip right there and cut your upfield momentum short and then level it out to get to the backside. That's something that only not everybody has naturally. So you can teach pass rush moves. You can't really teach that. Now this next play, I'm not really going to put 100% his fault. It is a 3rd and 7, which mostly would be an obvious passing down, especially in a game where the offense is down. But this is going to be something we talked about earlier. He's down here in a wide 9 stance. He's just going to shoot upfield, and probably because he's so out wide, and probably because I know he's thinking it's an obvious passing down, he's going to outrun the run coverage, and they're just going to run a running back draw up this gap here. And I think they get the first down on this play, if I remember correctly. So he's just going to shoot upfield. They have this puller come out, wall him off, and then the running back's able to just run right past him. Whereas typically, if he wasn't so wide, he wasn't so antsy to get to the quarterback because he thinks it's going to be a pass, he'd be a little more, hesitant at the line of scrimmage here, especially if he comes out unblocked. At this point, he'd be already just like watching this, maybe even wrong-arming this guard, or that's what they should be taught anyway. But instead, he thinks, oh, I have this great get-off, I have this wide alignment. Even if they're trying to do like a pulling guard, play action, pass kind of thing, I'm so fast, I can get out here and give him a good lick. But no, they run the running back draw, which is unlikely on a 3rd and 7, down so much, and then they just run underneath where he vacated. So it's another thing. It's not super common in this game, but he does have plays like this. And again, this might just be a situation thing where he was told that, okay, it's an obvious passing down, just rush it, and they called the right play offensively. But at the same time, some guys can both cover that run play and make sure it doesn't happen while also turning the jets on and getting to the quarterback if he does keep the ball. So this is just one bad play in this game. I think he's had more good than bad overall. I just think this is more indicative of a thing that I think he'll have a problem with at the NFL level, overshooting some run plays and stuff like that, especially with some bigger, more physical blockers that even if he cheats a little bit outside, in case they do pull it for play action, he might have to pay that price, unlike what he's been doing in the college football ranks. All right, and on to our final game, which is going to be Georgia against, getting this tough, gritty win out against Missouri in the middle of the season here, week 5. This is going to be him down here, lined up as more of that traditional 3-4 outside linebacker. You see they have the odd front here with the 4 linebacker look. So he's kind of the rolled down pass rushing linebacker, but they're only going to rush, I think, the 3 here. Okay, no, they send these guys on the play action, but let's just go back to where it was set up before. So he's going to be lined out here in this outside linebacker role, and what's going to happen is he's going to come out here and he's going to try to press, kind of also reroute this slot receiver. And then once he gets out of his zone, so he's here, he's the short area, curl zone, out route kind of thing. He's going to sit on this route. This was the guy he kind of rerouted, pushing outside because they don't have as much coverage inside. And then as soon as this guy is out of his zone and taken over by Ringo here, he's able to commit and come down onto the quarterback. So I'm just going to let it run. Reroute, cover the zone, and then as soon as the quarterback commits and that guy's out of the zone, he comes down and puts pressure on the quarterback rolling out. And I believe this is completion. Nice job for the quarterback. But yeah, he puts pressure on him, makes it a hard completion. Is really bearing down on him, probably gives him a good shot after this. And yeah, he just plays it like a good, I think he gives up a little bit. He gives him some room so he doesn't draw a penalty. Good job there. I didn't even notice that in the first place. But yeah, just good overall. Shows that versatility to be able to play the outside linebacker role in that 3-4 system. He can play out in coverage and then knows when to commit to rushing the passer on a rollout and knows how to sense when his guy's out of the zone and someone else has him covered. So I thought that was a good underneath route, like underneath zone kind of rep, where he also comes up and plays the quarterback and just really plays it pretty much academic there with how you're supposed to be coached up on it. So I thought that was a good play show off his scheme versatility. Another option play defense here. He's up at the top of the line of scrimmage in this 3-point stance. What's going to happen is this is going to be a mesh point read option, and the quarterback's going to decide to keep it. Him being the outside edge player, he gets unblocked. They're trying to get out of here. He's either going to give it and give it off the running back here, or the quarterback's going to keep it if he commits. So he sits there. He slow plays it. Like he's got eyes on the mesh the entire time. He does not bite. And as soon as the quarterback gives the ball to the running back, he's crashing down on the line of scrimmage and making an assisted tackle there. So that's just a great overall. That's like academic how you play that. Like I'm going to keep saying that because he's a really smart player. But he's able to just sit here, sit on the mesh, wait, and then once the offense fully commits to handing the ball off, that's when he crashes down. He has that athleticism to get down the line of scrimmage and make the tackle before the running back. Even though it's kind of a clogged lane, I have confidence he'd at least get a little hand on him if he had a full, clean alley to run through. So he's containing the mesh point, and as soon as the mesh point is given up the middle, he comes down and crashes down the middle. So another good, intelligent play in the run, especially in these read option offenses, which can be kind of tricky for edge players. And we're going to be on our last play here from Nolan Smith's scouting report, and it's going to be a sack. He's here at the end of the line of scrimmage. He's just going to come upfield, show off that good burst. He's going to read the mesh point. I don't know if it's an RPO action or if it's going to be an actual read option. They count this as a sack on his stat line, but he's going to come up here. He's going to read the mesh, and then again, like he did earlier in this game and what I've shown you before, he plays it really well, waits for that running back or that quarterback to commit to carrying the ball, and then he closes in with his good speed. So it's another thing where he is a very intelligent player, especially in the run game. I think this is an RPO pass, to be honest with you. So here's the mesh point, reads it, quarterback keeps it, he identifies it. Even if this running back took it, I think he'd be able to come down the line and make that tackle for a loss, if anything. So he played it really well here. Comes up, change of direction, speed. He's at like a full stop here, I think. I'm going to chopping his feet, change direction, bursts upfield, gets a sack. Just overall, great athletic play and great heads-up intelligent play, especially with stuff that can be misleading like a mesh point. Where you don't know where the ball is going to be going, whether it's going to be a pass, run, quarterback keeper, things like that. A lot of things, different things can happen, and he was able to stay with it and make that big play. So I really appreciated that with him. And yeah, it's going to be our last play of this scouting report. And as always, thank you guys for coming and checking out some more draft content from me. This has been really fun. Just in general, for Nolan Smith, I'm a big fan of his game. I think as a third down pass rusher, at the very least, he has some of that stuff, those skills that you want to see when it comes to speed and being able to attack the upfield hip. Some of the rare athleticism traits that you don't think that you can't teach people, that you don't think comes naturally, and it doesn't, because it's something that just requires flexibility and specific genes to be able to make you run that fast. Right? I know he's kind of lighter, so it makes it kind of seem easier for him to run faster, but I think he has some true talent there. And just if he's able to work on some more counters and actual pass rushing technique, I think he'll be able to blossom into a pretty decent edge rusher for a guy. And I think his run defending is definitely underrated. His pec injury, I don't think should impact his athleticism on the field. Maybe it will, his physicality, but we should hope not. I'm not sure what his timetable for return is. I think I have him graded out as a round 2 prospect. Right now, I believe he is my 4th ranked edge player. And I would be excited if you're a 3-4 defensive team, if you drafted him, or even a 4-3 defensive team, to have him come in and be at least a third down specialist, and if not, come out and be a rotational starter for you. So that's it for my Nolan Smith coverage. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be coming out with a lot more of these because the season's basically done. And other than that, I'll catch you guys later.